What is up, guys? My name is Ryan Duda. I'm here with Danny Crowe. We were both in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at Playhouse on the Square. It's a really fun time, so I sat him down and just like to thank you for sitting down and talking with me today.
Man, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, how old are you?
I am 24 years old.
And where'd you go to school at?
I went to Kennesaw State University,
Nice.
just outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
And did you study musical theater there? Or just
Yes, it was a Bachelor of Arts degree in Theater and Performance Studies with concentrations in musical theater and acting. It's a nice long...
Oh, man, that is a very long...
Nice long title there.
Fit all in like one diploma?
They condensed some of that a little bit, yeah. But they're really big fans of acronyms and that kind of thing.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you get into studying theater?
I've always been kind of performing as long as... I can remember I grew up in a very musical household. My mom would sing to us all the time, and both of my parents were really big into different kinds of music, and so I grew up loving music, and just was loud and enjoyed being in front of people, and
Nice.
Didn't make the basketball team in high school.
Oh no!
I say this is like a turning point for me though, because I had just gotten by being taller than everyone, and then everyone else caught up, and so I didn't make the team. And I had a couple friends that were just like, let's take a drama class, and
awesome.
then realized I was much better at that, and now I do it as my job.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Danny is 6 foot. Are you 6'4"?
I'm 6'4". 6'3". I slouch a lot.
Okay. I am 5'4" and a half. So when we stand up, it's a big difference.
Sure. Well, that's why we're sitting down for
That's why we're sitting.
Exactly.
So we look normal.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you studied theater in college, and now you're in Memphis working as a full-time actor, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to you.
Well,
Saying
thank
we're working together.
We're coworkers.
Yeah.
So thank you. Was there any times you almost gave up, or really really hard moments where you're like,
Yeah. Just in terms of rejection, or just for being an actor completely?
Both, I suppose. Anytimes you were I questioned whether you really wanted to do this.
Sure.
Or times it was really hard, but
I think there was a really hard time in college where I was going through a lot of stuff personally that I was really trying to sort through, and I didn't know exactly where I was getting the best source of fulfillment from in my life. It started feeling a lot less like art and much more of me having to try to prove myself to put for my own personal worth. I had put my wealth and worth as a individual into how successful I was as an artist, which is not, I think, not conducive to either A, making good art,
exactly,
or B, having a healthy mental state. So there was a rough time in college for a bit, but I worked with a couple really great directors that really kind of helped me piece through that in a little bit way that was healthier. And also something I've even been dealing with recently is, I've felt a little displaced as an individual because, this is my second year living in Memphis, having grown up in Atlanta and gone to school in Atlanta, with also then my family also now no longer lives in Atlanta as well. And I don't know where I'll be next year yet. It's kind of the nature of doing what we do is you don't know where we'll be. So I something that I struggle with, and I think other performers struggle with, is that sense of feeling grounded somewhere.
Exactly.
And we were actually just talking about this the other night, where we were talking about how it was hard to say goodbye to so many people so often, from moving around to place to wherever you're working. So I think that's something that I've really struggled with.
I've been going through the exact same things too, especially moving down here, because he's been here a year and I just got here 2 weeks ago. Just saying goodbye to everybody.
Sure, and I mean that's something that I know I'm going to have a hard time with whenever I leave Memphis next year also. But I think that is kind of the cool thing about the arts community, is how tight-knit that they are. It's even though you are going to all these different places, you have your common variable of making art and doing theater that kind of still unites everyone. And it's such a small world because everyone knows everyone. And even the people that are not within the theater community, but my community back home that supports me, I feel like I kind of, they're always kind of in the loop through that being a variable in my life, because they want to hear how that's going typically. So that's kind of how I've dealt with that, is trying to find that silver lining there. But.
Yeah, and thank you so much for being so supportive of everyone that's come in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
because I came in knowing absolutely nobody here, except for, and you were the guy who's like, I've been here a year, ask me any questions.
Sure.
So I've been like super helpful. And
Yeah.
It's been awesome just like walking into the rehearsal room with people I've never met before and then putting on a show. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's also really daunting too because like, you know, there's all these, you know, I know what that's like because when I got here last year, the only person I knew that was my friend who's also an actor, Tad Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew nobody else. And so, yeah, I've tried to be able to be that for you guys.
Yeah,
so
and you've succeeded.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Thank
Who are
you.
you?
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome. So I'm going to segue. I know you mentioned that you were in the middle of like writing your own material or trying to...
I have a couple of things that I'm working on right now. I've never really written a play before. Like a really... I've written like short plays.
Right.
Like I say, I was dating someone and I wrote them a play once. But I mean,
That's
like...
cute.
But I mean, like, as something that I actually wanted to, like, make to, like, show around to people, I'm reading a play right now about a guy that interacts with this other person at a subway station, and all the scenes are at this subway station, and their way that it's very loose right now. There's still so much stuff to piece together, but like they share their favorite Shakespeare quotes. That's like their meeting place is that's how. And then they like check in how they're doing in their lives, and there'll be a plot that like shapes around that. But like their thing of these two people is they share their favorite Shakespeare quotes. So I am collecting Shakespeare quotes right now. So if anyone has a favorite Shakespeare quotes, feel free to comment it below. It might make its way into what I'm working on right now.
That would be so cool.
And so because I love Shakespeare and I love his work, and I'm also writing this weird thing about my friends right now, like my old childhood friends that have known me since I was like 5 or 6. I don't know what it'll be yet. I just sat down on my computer one night and I like typed out this monologue of this guy talking about these people that he's known forever, and it was like nostalgia mixed with, I don't know, a bunch of very much like to be shaped kind of things.
Right. Is that like really therapeutic for you to like write all that stuff down?
It is, and I mean, like I said, I think that does help me deal with, you know, missing some of those people is writing about them.
Right.
But I think right now the biggest challenge I'm facing with it is just allowing myself to be bad at it.
That's oh my god, that's so real.
Oh my god, and I think that's a challenge for any artist in any thing that they're...
Because you want so hard to be good at it, like right off the bat.
Oh yeah,
and you want it to be good.
There was a while that like I would like write a page and then delete it and then write a page and then delete it, and I'd just be stuck on one page over and over and over again, just going back and erasing it. Again, my friend Tad, I heard him say like at one point, just talking about just allowing yourself to be just horrible at it, just like go through it, just like get it, force yourself to do it, bully yourself to do it, and then go back and edit it and piece it together and do all that.
Yeah, it's almost like a skill you gotta like flex.
It is, and I mean, and, you know, it's the only way to get better at writing is to write, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but just because it's you know, I've always wanted to try it, you know, we live in this age of people that are writing and performing in their own material right now. Like,
that's like how people get discovered too.
Yeah, say like Lynn did that. Dave Malloy with Great Comet also. Yeah, so it's becoming this like, I'm really excited by those artists that are the ones that just create this thing and then become a part of it from just the ground up. It seems like something that would be really exciting to be a part of.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, like I don't know if it'll turn into anything like that. You know, I still consider myself first and foremost a performer. But yeah, it's been kind of this neat thing that I've been trying recently. And I think that is a valuable skill that you can then take as a performer and then allow yourself in the rehearsal room to make a choice that is so outlandishly embarrassing or bad, and that you created a safe environment for yourself to be able to do that can really help you stretch.
Exactly. Because how are you going to grow if you don't take risks?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, you see, you know, I'm sure there's a bunch of actors out there that you've seen their work and it's kind of like, you know, it's the same thing that they're doing. I mean, it's like, oh, that's that person playing this part. And yes, they're playing a different character with a different name, but ultimately they're still that person playing that part.
Right.
And that's not to say that I think you should try to contrive something that isn't honest with your performances, but I mean, like stretching yourself and being versatile as a performer is, you know, I think it's important. It makes you more interesting as an artist and more marketable.
Absolutely.
As a product. As gross as that sentence is.
I know. It's like it's that fine balance.
Exactly.
Of that. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, that was an amazing conversation. So I just want to thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
Awesome. I would love to check back in with your writing later on.
Sure.
See what else you've discovered and everything.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that there's many other things we could talk about, but we'll save those for more videos in the future.
Hell yeah.
So thank you, Danny. You can check Danny out at the information that I'll include below and probably in this like space up above his head. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully you guys have an amazing week. If you have any questions for either of us or have any topics that you want us to discuss in the future, please leave that down below as well. And yeah, thanks, Danny.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Hell yeah.
Woo!